This project is gonna be big. I'm talking about Lo-Fi Originals. Now, when it comes down to this project, there's not much information out on it currently. I was able to get hooked up by my boy Crypto Gorilla, ended up talking to the founders, and big shout out to my boy Black Jesus, who also got me into the Discord. Now, when it comes down to Lo-Fi Originals, they have been kind of running up for the past week or so. They've only got sort of 8,500 followers on Twitter. Hey, hold up real quick. If you like the video, make sure you scroll down there, hit up that subscribe button. Okay, let's kick on. But what they're actually doing is they've done some really great work when it comes down to the promos. Now, what I mean is they're taking this real life sort of filming aspect and kind of injecting some of their art and creativity into the actual sort of the promos themselves. Here is a preview of some of the art. Now, what's crazy is that they're giving away, if you look at the promos, they're giving away what they want to do and how they actually want to operate. And then when I actually asked them some questions, asked them the hard questions, they actually came up with some good information. The thing about these promos is that had a big, heavy influence on some manufacturing, sort of merchandise. And then in this promo, we've actually got this car. It is a Toyota Crown 2600 and the number plate LO, and it's from Victoria. So they're actually from Victoria, which is a state in sort of Australia. So these guys are from Melbourne. I'm from Sydney, so it's kind of really tight. Now, when it comes down to the actual team itself, what I did is I wanted to kind of ask them some hard questions, and I digged in and asked them some questions based off the promos that I had seen. And I asked them, hey, it looks like there's 4 members. And they came back and goes, yep, there's 4 members. Their backgrounds are in IT. One of them is the founder of a clothing brand. One of them is an artist, and the other who's run his own business before. And because one of the founders has actually run his business before, he actually knows how to kind of get the creative kind of direction done. And that's why they've got these videographers to actually shoot these really cool promos, because I kind of thought that they were sort of film dudes in the beginning. I then asked them about all the textiles that I saw in the promos and wanted more of an analysis on what they're actually doing, how they're running it out. And I kind of asked them, it looks like they're actually making their merch and not just kind of slapping like a brand logo onto like an AS color blank. And they said, yeah, 100% they're going to manufacture their product in Australia. So it's 100% ethically made and from Australia. A brand is one piece of the puzzle overall when it comes down to Lo-Fi Originals. Now, I'm super pumped on the fact that they're actually kind of going to be making their stuff here, because it's the fact that they really care about quality, and they also care about it being made ethically, and where you can actually kind of track where the clothing has come from in its like life cycle. So I think that is very good. Now, when it comes down to it, I also asked them about music, because in the music tracks underneath, and I'll play a snippet for you right now. So yes, I asked them about those music tracks and if it was kind of going to play in and if it was going to be a music NFT. And they say that music is a big element to our roadmap and collection. So we have onboarded lo-fi artists already. And the reason that they've onboarded these artists is they don't want to be seen as sort of stealing or just using production music. So when it comes down to the music NFT aspect, not really a music NFT, but they're incorporating into it. And we have seen this done with a project like Rubber Duck Bath Party. Now, when it came down to the supply and price, I actually asked them and I said, what's the approximate supply and price? I understand if you don't want to give it, but ballpark 10K or lower, higher price because of the fashion aspect. And what they came back with is they said it's not going to be a 10K collection, and it's not going to be a big high mint price like a 0.25. So that makes me comfortable, the fact that they kind of understand that it doesn't need to be a 10K at a big cash grabby type numbers, and they're actually approaching this from something that should be sustainable for the project longer term. And then referring back to the video, so the car in the promo clip here, I was like, was the Toyota Crown hired or are you boys rolling in style? And they came back with, it's one of the founders' cars. And what is really cool is they go, we believe in not portraying what we can't or don't own. And I think this is very powerful, because it shows that they're coming from a place of honesty and they're coming from a place of authenticity, because they don't want to be kind of flexing with like Lambos driving around. The idea is like, this is one of the founders' cars. This is how they operate. This is how they hang out. This is how they are. So it's real and it's down to earth and it's grounded. So look, I know the art is cool. The promos are cool, they've got a great design language, but what makes me super bullish about this project is the fact that they are setting up a business. Now, I'm not saying they're setting up a business. the fact is they're actually registering the business and creating a proper business. So like the structure and the entity before they actually roll out the project. The reason that they want to do this is they want to show that they're kind of real and they actually are kind of putting their money where their mouth is. And the idea is that they want to set it up to succeed. They want to set it up to actually kind of work well in the future. And it's not just sort of four dudes kind of like raising a bunch of capital, extracting the ETH to their wallets, and then that's it, game over. I think this is super bullish, and this is the direction that I think a lot of projects will be moving towards. I've said this in previous videos before, and I do say it a lot when I'm in interviews, that I think that where people are going to be moving towards when it comes down to doxing isn't just saying, hey, here's who I am, but actually setting up a proper legal business structure, which then holds that person as the director of the business accountable. So it'll be harder for people to run off with the money. So when they do raise funds, they can execute it, the roadmap correctly. And then also it means that if it is going to be a rug or a soft rug, all these details are kind of put on file, because no one's going to, it's easy for someone to go, hey, here's my face, here's who I am, and then create a whole persona and then dip. But it's very hard to kind of create a whole business structure that would then be based, because it means that you could then kind of request that information and get their addresses, get all their details, get all these things when it comes down to a business, which I think is very good. So when it comes down to Lofi Originals, I'm super excited about this project. First off, home country, kind of like big ups to my boys. I kind of want to really support Australian projects that are kind of doing things differently, because I feel like that's what we need in the space. And when someone's doing something in your own backyard, you get really excited by it. And then the other thing is, when I actually did get this information, it does make sense in how they actually want to structure the project, how they kind of want to move, and how they actually want to roll it out. And this makes me excited for the project as well. So if you found value in this video, in this little deep dive sort of exploratory kind of aspect when it comes down to this project, make sure you hit up that subscribe button, and while you're down there, also hit up the like button. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.